Hi, welcome to my channel, Universal Soul Vibrations. These are going to be the weekly messages for air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. For the week of May 20th to May 26th, please remember these are general messages and may not resonate with everyone. If you like the channel, like, subscribe, and share with your friends. We are going to start off by looking to see what air signs need to let go of this week, what they'll be working on, and what the key is for them this week. And I'm going to be using the Wisdom of the House of Night deck for this section. Some fell out, but it was way too many cards. Boy, you guys are getting a bunch of stuff falling out here. Air signs need to let go of this week. Okay. We got the Moon card as what you need to let go of. So, you know, when the Moon card shows up, Moon card talks about things that are hidden, maybe some secrets, something hasn't come to light yet. And it also, the moon also refers to cycles. So, with this being in the letting go position, maybe there's some things that you haven't said, some things that you don't know about. And maybe you're better off not knowing about them with it being in the letting go position. Maybe you just need to be okay with, you know what, I don't know about this. It hasn't been brought to light. Maybe it's just not for me. In what you'll be working on this week, air signs, we got focus. So, if you look at the focus card, she's got a bow and arrow, and she's get ready to release it, to let it fly into the air. This card talks about hitting your mark. You need to work on focusing better on where you want to place your intentions this week. And I think a lot of focus with the Moon card coming up. We just had the Scorpio full moon, and that moon's definitely about releasing a lot of stuff. So you may be working on releasing some things this week and putting the focus on what really needs to be into your life. And then the key to the week is the listening card. When this card comes up, listening to your intuition, obviously she has that big moon on her forehead, on her third eye. So you definitely need to listen to your intuition this week. What your gut instincts are telling you about things. But also, when this card comes up, it talks about, are we just listening, waiting to respond? Or are we active listening and hearing what someone really needs to say? And I think what air signs is going to be working on this week is really to become that active listener and listen to what someone is actually trying to say, rather than trying to formulate a response while the person is still talking. All right, let's look and see what we've got for Gemini, and we will be moving into Gemini season very soon. I'm going to use the Wisdom of the Oracle deck to see what the overall energy for Gemini is this week. What is the overall energy for Gemini for the week of May 20th? And we got mending. So the mending card, talks about, mending, healing relationships, healing pieces of you that need to be healed. Just really working on, kind of, I want to say, fixing those things that feel like they might be broken, whether they're within yourself or in a relationship with someone else. But it looks like that is the overall energy around you. This card is about giving forgiveness. And you know what? Sometimes we aren't able to, actually say I'm sorry to someone, or, verbally give the forgiveness. Sometimes we just have to give it within ourselves and be okay with that, because when we carry around, when we don't let the forgiveness go out there, we carry it around with us, and it really, only one person it hurts is us, not the other person, But it is about making amends. Maybe there's someone that you need to make amends with this week, Gemini. And it's, about not holding resentments. So now's the time to forgive, to release, and to make peace, and set yourself free this week. All right, let's see what cards we got for you guys, Gemini. Messages for Gemini. Week of May 20th to the 26th. Okay, we got the Empress. Something new may be coming, the birth of something new. This also, too, just maybe saying that you need to get out into nature more. I mean, the Empress, she's that Mother Earth. I have to see what comes up next with it. What are the messages for Gemini? And she definitely knows how to nurture herself as well, the Empress. So you may need to just put some nurturing, this could also be about nurturing that relationship that maybe, there's forgiveness that's needed. Messages for Gemini for the week of May 20th to the 26th. Yeah, we got the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so the Four of Pentacles coming up with the Empress, the Four of Pentacles is saying, you can see it in the card. He's holding on to something very tightly, whether it be a grudge, a belonging, holding on to not forgiving. That's that grudge, greediness, but with the Empress, I'm feeling like the Empress is saying it's time to let go of this. Breathe new life into the relationship, or, let it go if it's not working for you. Messages for Gemini for the week of May. Yeah, it may be a time to take a step away. She's putting down her swords. It's a time of rest, renewal. And the Queen of Cups, healing within yourself during this time of rest. It could also be healing within the relationship. But, she's sitting there by herself. That's why I'm saying healing within self. She's drinking from her own cup. And then we got I get these two cards to come up together quite frequently, the Queen of Cups and the High Priestess, and they are they're very similar cards. Both of them relay the message of inner healing, listening to your intuition, going with what, your gut tells you. So I think, your message is this week that there may be a relationship or something in your life that you're holding on to tightly for, and it's time to step away from that, and maybe move on to something new, because the Empress can represent the birth of something new. She's, the card that quite frequently, if we're looking in that area, talks about pregnancy. I don't think that that's the case in this spread. But the big message with the center here, what everything's revolving around, is is putting down the swords and taking a rest and taking some time to contemplate and think and renew yourself. To me, these two cards are both self-renewal, rejuvenating yourself. So I think this week is going to be more about, you know, healing yourself and rejuvenating yourself and letting go of the things that aren't working for you. Let me get some clarifiers, my little cards here. Why is the Empress and the Pentacles here? You know, and with the Queen of Cups and the High Priestess, you know, the blue color definitely, to me, is a sense of calmness, peace. Seven of Cups, the Star. Yep, so, you know, the Seven of Cups card, in a man standing in front of all these cups, this can definitely signify some confusion. Confusion, too many choices, not sure which way to go. But what comes next is the Star card between the Four of Pentacles and the Four of Swords. You know, and that's telling me that it's time to release something. Time to step away from it. And time for self-care. Another card of healing. We got a lot of cards of healing here. We got the King of Cups, Queen of Cups, the High Priestess, the Star. But they're all individuals. There's nobody else in these cards with them. So I think it's more about healing yourself. And, you know, that comes from giving that forgiveness, whether it's needed for you, you know, about something that you did, or forgiveness of someone else. We need to release it instead of holding it inside and, you know, kind of get stuck in that resentment kind of place. And the King of Pentacles, you know, once you get in touch, heal yourself, and listen to your intuition, it's going to put you on a much stabler ground. A lot of abundance, too, with the King of Pentacles. So, Gemini, it looks like you're going to be releasing some things this week. Which was what the Scorpio moon is pretty much all about. Alrighty. Let's do Libra next. Treasure Island. Treasure Island is that card that brings in great things. You know, with Treasure Island, there's a treasure to be found. You know, you found that X marks the spot and found that, you know, treasure of gold. It's about the law of attraction. You know, bringing your dreams into fruition with the Treasure Island card. But this is done through positive thinking, because, you know, positive thinking and thinking things into existence allows that manifestation to come in. Abundance is going to come in maybe out of nowhere this week, Libra. And there'll be some financial gains and sharing of good fortune when this card appears. And make sure you don't forget, you know, to be grateful and have gratitude for whatever comes in. And enjoy it and share it with others if you can. All right, let's see what else we got for Libra. Messages for Libra for the week of May 20th to 26th. And then, you know, remember with the Treasure Island card, there are unexpected gifts coming in. Five of Wands. So there's some type of conflict going on. Whether it's inner or outer, I'm not sure yet. To me, it feels more like outer conflict. That's just for Libra. We got the Empress. Now the Empress is the exact opposite energy of that, you know, Five of Wands. Oh, but we're back to the Nine of Swords. You got such a great overall energy card, but now we're coming out with all these cards. You know, with the Nine of Swords over here, kind of at the center of everything, it's about worry, you know, anxiety, could be depression, you know, not being able to sleep at night. So this is definitely not outer conflict, it's inner. There's inner conflict. But, you know, with the Empress in the middle, you know, next to these two, in between these two cards, it's saying, you know, take some time to nurture yourself. It's time for you to get out of all this conflict that you've got going on within yourself. Because there's, you know, a new prosperous beginning coming in for you. One that has a lot of passion, creativity, you know, adventurous. It's there, but when you're in this energy of the Nine of Swords and the Five of Wands, you're not going to see it. And the Empress also talks about, you know, the birth of something new coming in. So this abundance, this treasure is out there waiting for you, but you may not see it. Yep, you may not see it because you're kind of caught up in this conflict energy. You need to move more into the Empress's energy of, you know, she's very calm. To me, she's very calm. She's out in nature. She's enjoying nature. She's just kind of hanging out in her chair, taking in the scenery, because there is a new beginning. We've got the new journey coming. You've got the Ace of Wands and the Fool at the end, Libra. You know, the Fool says take that leap of faith because there's something out there for you that's going to bring the passion and creativity back into your life. But you can't see it when you're in that conflictive energy. Okay, so the Five of Wands and the Empress here. We're going to take all of these. Yep. So the Five of Wands and the Empress, you've got the Hanged Man clarifying that. And then we've got the Two of Wands, the Lovers, and the Sun. So, you know, with the Hanged Man clarifying the Five of Wands and the Empress, you're not taking any action to move out of this state. This state of conflict, of, you know, just it's obviously a lot of mental conflict with the Nine of Swords showing up here. It's time for you to gain a new perspective. Gain that perspective of the Empress. You know, that you can manifest things into your life. That things are going to come, that treasure island that it's waiting to offer you, you can bring it into your life. The Two of Wands is saying, you know, it's time for you to choose a path. He's kind of sitting there with the Two Wands. He's looking at the world. Where should I go? Well, here is definitely not where you want to go. And it is facing the Empress. It's not facing the Nine of Swords. It's facing the Empress energy. And we got the Lovers. The Lovers also at one point was, you know, known as the choice card. Because, you know, he had a choice, the passion or the, you know, the true, you know, the true love there. Are we just going after the lust and the passion? This card is very similar to the way the Devil card is laid out, except the Devil usually has them in chains and shackles. Here you need to make a choice which energy you're going to stay in. If you choose to go towards the Ace of Wands and the Fool, if you're willing to take that risk, you're moving to the best card in the deck, the Sun. You know, happiness, wish fulfillment, all that abundance is there for you. But you've got to make the choice where you're going to stay. Are you going to stay here in the Five of Wands and the Nine of Swords? Or are you going to move into the, you know, energy of abundance and willing to take a risk? Take that leap of faith. It's all up to you, Libra. All right. And we got Aquarius next. All right. Let's see what the overall energy is for Aquarius. A leg up. So the leg up card, it's a cute little card here. You know, you got the polar bear and baby's trying to climb up on her back and get a ride. And it's about reaching out to others, you know, for help if you need it. Don't be afraid to ask people for help. You know, it's okay to do that. It's just saying, you know, you're at a point where you can't go it alone anymore and you need somebody to help you. And this card is going to align you with the people that can give you that leg up during the next part of your journey. Help will come to you in areas of your life where you need the boost. But you've got to be able to be willing to accept. That's the trick. Be willing to accept the aid as it's freely given. All right, and it's about teamwork, working together as a team. All right, let's see what cards we got for you, Aquarius. You know, the mama bear's saying you can't make it on your own anymore, so hop on and I'll give you a ride and we'll make it together. Knight of Swords. Okay, when the Knight of Swords shows up, someone's actions may be being called into question. But there's some wisdom gained here with the Knight of Swords, because we've got the owl, and he's holding up that sword. He's like, I got it. I know the answer. And, you know, the wisdom, the owl is a, you know, representation of wisdom. So I think some type of wisdom is coming to light this week for you, Aquarius. Yeah, we got the moon card. You know, and the moon card, you know, talks about, you know, she's out in the middle of the forest. The crescent moon is there. She's holding the stick with the fire, but you know, it's not very bright out there. Not all things have been illuminated yet. So it looks like you're seeking some clarity on something, because you just haven't gotten the answers. And we got the Strength card. The Magician. And, you know, to talk a little bit about the Strength card, and that's at the center of your reading. I listened to something the other day by Bryn Brown, and, you know, it really, really, really summed up the Strength card. You know, she kind of talked about how in order to find you know, in order to find that happiness in life, that, you know, where that happiness is, in order to let it into our lives, we need to make ourselves vulnerable. that's where the courage is. The courage is in making ourselves vulnerable. And what is strength? Strength is having courage. I mean, we got the lion in here. He's the most courageous, animal in the jungle. But in order to do that, you have to be willing to, let your vulnerability come through. If you're not willing to do that, you're not going to be able to, courage tells your story. It tells who you are from your heart. And it says it's okay to be imperfect. But it's about having compassion and being kind to yourselves first and then others. Okay, so that's what gives you the strength. It's the ability to let go of who you thought you were and who you should, and it's ability, sorry, I'm having a hard time getting my words together. It's the ability to let go of who you thought you were and who you think you should be in order to be who you are. But you have to fully embrace vulnerability to do that. Vulnerability, it makes you beautiful. It's the willingness to do something, but it's the willingness to do something with no guarantees. Vulnerability is the core, but it's also the place where joy and creativity, belonging and love come from, and that's what this strength card is all about. Just remember, it's okay to be imperfect. That's one of her big messages. And let ourselves be seen. Love with your whole heart, even though there's no guarantee. Practice gratitude and joy, in moments when you're not really feeling it. And believe that you're enough. And that's what that strength card is. Believing that you're enough, okay? And that's at the core of this reading. I think you're holding on to some things here that are making you kind of believe that you may not be Aquarius. There's something hidden here. And you have to seek the wisdom of the King of Swords in order to bring something to light, in order to tap. And I think it's the vulnerability that needs to be brought to light. Because once you do that, you get to cultivate all those wonderful things that I talked about in here. The joy, the creativity, the belonging, and love. Even love for yourself, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's the thing that needs to be brought to light. And once that happens, all that stuff can be manifested. That's what the Magician here is saying. Stop holding on to, beliefs that you're not enough. Because you are. The Strength card is right at the center of this. Have that courage to show yourself. Why is the Knight of Swords here? And the card. We got the Page of Pentacles, because there's a new offer coming. There's something, something new is being gained here, is being learned. Yep. And you got the Ace of Swords, another new beginning, a new idea, a new way of thinking, which is going to bring you up to a next level, and there's going to be so much growth when you move up to that next level. You have to step into that strength energy, and that's going to require vulnerability to do that. We all think of vulnerability as a weakness. It's not. And then we got the Seven of Swords. Oh. And the Eight of Swords. Yeah, that's what's holding you back from being able to manifest in what you want to manifest. You're trapped in holding on to stuff, that you shouldn't be holding on to. You're not being able to find a way out of I think that whole energy of, am I enough? You keep asking yourself that question. And here you're defending yourself. So we need to move out of this energy in the end so that this can come in. You know, that enlightenment can come in, Aquarius. Alrighty, ear signs, those are your messages for the week.